Here we are on the couch for a song and a story. I hope that you're still practicing slide. Do you remember how to do slide from last week where you take hands, one and then the other, start around your forearms and go slide, clap. One, one, one. One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three. And remember, it's a partner game, so you're hitting each other's hands. And then Georgie, Porgie. Georgie, Porgie, pudding pie, gave her friends a big high five. With her friends she loved to play, a gift of a smile she gives each day. So in choosing my book today, I really kind of just randomly chose it. But this story is about telling the truth and what could happen if you do not tell the truth, if you tell a lie. So if someone asks you if you did something or said something and you say you did not when you did, like spill the milk or knock something over and leave a mess, or maybe break something on accident and then you say you didn't do it, that's called a lie, and that's not a good thing. We need to always be telling the truth, even if we're going to get in a little bit of trouble, because it's better to get in a little bit of trouble and be trustworthy and truthful than to get into a little bit of trouble and have told a lie, and now people have a hard time believing the words you say. So this story is called Edwurd Fudwupper Fibbed Big. And a fib is the same thing as a lie. And the story will be explained by her sister, Fannie Fudwupper. And then the author is Berkeley Reft. I'm sorry, sir, if I said your name wrong. Edwurd Fudwupper Fibbed Big. From a long line of liars, there's none higher upper than my fibbing big brother, Edwurd Fudwupper. There he is now. I know just what he's doing. He's thinking of who could be next for some fooling. Edward's been cooking up fibs full of phooey. He'll serve them up sweet and all gooey with hooey. Last week he fibbed big and told Mabel Dill, I've read you've been voted Queen of Brazil. They want you to come. Bikinis, bring 10. I think Mabel went. No one's seen her since then. Yes, he thought them up long and he thought them up tall, but did he think much of me? No, not much, not at all. Like the time he fibbed big and told Ben and Dinky that I had been born by a poodle named Stinky. That wasn't so nice, but that fib I'd forgive, if only he liked me or noticed I lived. Early this morning he did it again. He whacked a baseball and things smashed in the den. Dad rushed over and found Mom's cracked pig. Then Edwurd Fudwupper fibbed way, way too big. So you see, he broke this, but he's not going to tell his daddy did. It's all truly, clearly, quite simple, you know. The whole thing was done by two pigs from Pluto. They were cruising by Earth, looking down from above, when they spotted Mom's pig and fell deeply in love. So they dropped one pig here he could not resist. Then the passionate porker insisted a kiss. But he leaned in too far, and Mom's pig hit the ground. On Pluto, you see, they kiss sitting down. So this is what Edward is telling his dad happened to the vase. Or happened to Mom's pig, I'm sorry. But is that what happened? No, he hit it with a baseball. Then he left broken-hearted, upset and unseen, and his ship picked him up with a pig-lifting beam. And that's all, that's the truth, said Ed, the fib slinger. In the whole of fib history, a whopping humdinger. So see, he's making up a story about what actually happened to Mom's pig. Then a yelp and a howl and a scream from nearby. Lorna May Loon had been listening outside. Mabel Dill, she cried loudly, has been missing for days. She must have been grabbed by those pig-lifting rays. She got to the phone and screamed aloud shrill. Space pig monsters have nabbed Mabel Dill. They're coming for me. They're coming for you. Send the army, the Air Force, and the dog catcher too. See Edward, he's going, shh. No. Shh, don't call these people. And that's just what they did. They came for space pigs, with planes and with tanks and with loud whirligigs. Oh, it was dreadful, a real world stopper. All from an Edwurd, Fudwupper, Fat Whopper. They pointed their loudspeaker dishes to space, and those generals roared till red in the face. Now listen out there! We'll shoot! Yes, we will! Come back here at once, and bring Mabel Dill! Edward watched all of this for quite a long time, but people were staring at something behind. Oh, rats, Edward thought. How much more could there be? A face filled the sky from the hills to the sea. It did not look happy, nor pleasant, nor soft. In fact, that big thing looked somewhat mad. It was purple and green with an eye on its snout. It opened its mouth, roaring, Who started this hoot? No one wants to know who is telling these stories. I live quite close by, just 2 galaxies down, and I just cannot sleep with all this fuss and this sound. I know nothing of pigs, nor our lost Mabel Dill. Someone has been fibbing with slippery skill. Who is this gnat? Point out where he's at. Show him to me, and I'll swat him down flat. And that's when they did, each dad and each mother. They pointed right up to my shaking big brother. Edward dropped low. He was scared, 10 times double. He'd fibbed way too big and was now in huge trouble. Then wait, what's that sound? A small voice, small and fine? Everyone stopped. Who was it? It was mine. So this is the sister talking. Oh, please, I called out. It's my fault, don't you see? I broke that blue pig. Edward's fib was for me. So, dear grumpy thing with 3 eyes in your head, see that it's me you should swat down instead. What could I do? Edward's face was a mess. I told the fat fib. Yes, I'd learned from the best. So it was really her brother who broke the pig and told the lie. But now she's worried about him and she doesn't want him to get in trouble. So she said it was her fault. I thought I'd be smushed, smashed, squashed right on down. But that big face looked in with a smile, not a frown. I think, he said firmly, you both are big fibsters. But out where I live, we're not loved by our sisters. Mine, by the way, I have left all alone. And now I'll go back to her sleeping at home. He looked at me odd, kind of sad, kind of blue. It sure would be nice to have a sister like you. Then he turned round his ship and back home he drove her. And I turned to Edward and I turned to find Edward looking me over. He said not a thing as we walked back to Dad. Where there he looked up and confessed, I've been bad. So we taped and we glued and we fixed up Mom's pig and we told Mom the truth that we'd fibbed fat and big. Our folks hugged us both and collected no fines. but we sat in time out to pay for our crimes. Then Ed looked at me with a smile that was new and said, "It is nice to have a sister like you. Two former fibsters, that Edward and me, but brother and sister we finally be." And if someone knows where Mabel Dill went, please tell her from Edward that no harm was meant. Edward Fudwupper fibbed big. Explained by Fannie Fudwupper. What a big mess came out of just a broken pig. Would have been a lot easier for Edward and Fannie to just tell Dad the truth from the start, wouldn't it have? Then space pigs wouldn't have come down, the military wouldn't have rushed out, and people wouldn't have been scared. So it's best to just tell the truth, even though it's hard. I miss you guys. I really, really do. I wish you well. I wish you well. All through the day today. I wish you well. Bye, everybody.